Howdy, I'm Bob Behnken, spacewalker on STS-130, and you're watching NASA TV.
Endeavor Houston, good morning. A special good morning to Bob.
Good morning, Houston. Thank you very much for that wake-up music this morning, and a special good morning to my wife, Megan, who I really do look forward to seeing here in just a handful of days now. So can't wait to be back in your arms and see you back in Florida and then back in Houston.
This is Mission Control Houston. As you've heard now, the wake-up song played for the on-orbit crew. That song was entitled Parabola, performed by Tool for Robert Behnken. The crew will now have a couple of hours of personal time for their start of day. They'll have personal time for breakfast and hygiene before starting with their tasks, primarily the relocation of the pressurized mating adapter number 3. That'll be relocated at the end of the space station robotic arm from its position on the Harmony module to the now open port on the Tranquility module. Other tasks for the day include the internal outfitting of the cupola. That piece of hardware was relocated overnight during the crew day and now installed in its permanent location on the Earth-facing port of Tranquility. The onboard crew will also continue with some other interior outfitting work and then have the afternoon off. They'll wrap up their day with a procedure review for the third and final spacewalk of this mission. It will be conducted by Robert Behnken and Nicholas Patrick.
This is Mission Control Houston with the view on the outside of the International Space Station and Space Shuttle Endeavour complex. The morning of activities will focus on the relocation of the pressurized mating adapter number 3 from its temporary location on the zenith or top of the Harmony node to its location on the end of the new Tranquility node. Tranquility is seen here about in the top center view with the cupola now on the Earth-facing port, the top in this view. Inside the new Tranquility node 3, astronaut Soichi Noguchi is doing a checkout procedure for the advanced resistive exercise device, which has been relocated to that node. The biomedical engineers and flight surgeons are monitoring that checkout from Mission Control through video, as the first checkout is an unmanned configuration. Noguchi is maneuvering the device within its vibration isolation system. And then as part of the checkout, 2 exercise sessions will be conducted by 2 different crew members on the device later today.
Okay, Houston Station Space Ground 2, air at 06 complete, and all axes go back to 0 within 15 seconds.
And Soichi, we're still with you on 1. That was a great views for the Y and the X axis, but we're still going to need for you to reposition the camera for Z, and sorry if we weren't clear about that.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat the Z test. Houston Station Space Ground 2, CPC is now surrounded, so you can check the view at your convenience.
We have the view, Soichi, and it looks great.
This is looking out to the port side of the International Space Station through a small window on the hatch on Tranquility, on the end of the node where the pressurized mating adapter number 3 will be relocated today.
Leak check.
Go ahead, Zambo.
Okay, PMA leak check, step 3.9. Pressure was 0 at GMT 11:55:00.
That's a good number, Zambo. No need to repeat that.
Okay, great.
Shuttle Commander George Zamka reading down the pressure reading for the pressurized mating adapter number 3 that he completed in preparation for the relocation of that element. A view inside the station's Destiny laboratory where Commander Jeff Williams and Flight Engineer Suichi Noguchi are working through the procedure to release the bolts that are holding the pressurized mating adapter number 3 to the Harmony node. There are 16 bolts that secure an element into place on the common berthing mechanism, and the procedure goes through releasing half of those bolts first and then the second half subsequently. Actually, the release of an element includes releasing 4 bolts at a time. The capture of an element when it is installed is done in the 2-stage fashion. The crew members are in the step of the procedure to remove the first set of 4 bolts. In this view, you also see Endeavour's mission specialist Nicholas Patrick getting set up at the robotics workstation. He will be working with astronaut Bob Behnken to operate Canadarm2 and relocate the pressurized mating adapter number 3 after it has been removed from Harmony. Canadarm2 has a firm grasp on the PMA-3 at the moment. This is a view on the outside of the International Space Station. Canadarm2 is working from its operating base on the outside of the Destiny lab on the right side of the view, and it is extended down below this view and connected to the pressurized mating adapter number 3 while it is currently attached to the zenith side or space facing side of the Harmony node. The PMA-3 will be positioned at the end of Tranquility, which this is a view inside of. The hatch behind astronaut TJ Creamer at the background of the view is where the PMA-3 will be relocated to, and it is being positioned there to provide additional coverage or protection from micrometeoroid debris on that port. Astronauts Terry Burtz and Kay Heyer are working on a procedure to outfit the cupola vestibule. It's a new location and a permanent location now on the Earth-facing port of Tranquility. Burtz and Heyer are working through that procedure to connect power and data utility cables. The Operations Support Officer here in the International Space Station Flight Control Room can see that the 4th set of bolts have been removed. All 16 bolts then disengaged from holding the pressurized mating adapter number 3 in place, and now the 4 latches are being deployed.
And on the big loop, the latches are deployed. SSRMS has a go for PMA-3 maneuver.
Okay, Jeff, SSRMS operator copies that we are go for the PMA-3 maneuver.
Two sets of crew members working side by side inside the International Space Station on the process to relocate the pressurized mating adapter number 3. Station Commander Jeff Williams and Flight Engineer Suichi Noguchi completed the procedure to release the bolts securing the PMA-3 in place.
WC I-fill, ground steps are in place. You have a go to do your fill part 1.
And also just deployed the 4 latches inside the common berthing mechanism on Harmony.
Copy and work.
Now, astronauts Bob Behnken and Nicholas Patrick will operate the station's robotic arm, Canadarm2, which already has a grapple or a hold on the PMA-3. They will be working at this robotics workstation inside the Destiny Lab to remove PMA-3 from the Zenith port or space-facing port on Harmony and placing it on the port end of the Tranquility node. In this view on the outside of the space station, you can see the pressurized mating adapter number 3 is being removed from its location on the space-facing or Zenith port of the Harmony node. This is Mission Control Houston with the view back outside the International Space Station with the pressurized mating adapter number 3 being relocated by the station's robotic arm, Canadarm2. The robotic arm is being operated by astronauts Bob Behnken and Nicholas Patrick from inside the station's Destiny Lab. It is being relocated to the port side of the station on the end of the Tranquility node. The port is visible here as the adapter is being maneuvered closer and closer to its installation point. You can see the Earth below as the station and shuttle complex orbit 217 statute miles above the Earth to the east of the Philippines. This is a view from the camera inside the port that PMA-3 will be attached to. It is a camera set up for precise alignment of the element while it is being maneuvered in for installation.
And Houston Station on the big loop, we are ready for the CBCS view to monitor 2.
Copy, Bob. We will put that in work.
The movement of the Canadarm2 to relocate the pressurized mating adapter number 3 is paused at this point in the procedure as the camera views are reconfigured for the final installation. Station astronauts Jeff Williams and Suichi Noguchi have prepared the Tranquility node's common berthing mechanism for the attachment of the pressurized mating adapter number 3. And shuttle astronauts Nicholas Patrick and Bob Behnken will resume maneuvering Canadarm2 to bring the adapter in for its attachment to Tranquility.
Copied. We're about to pick up in step 13 of 1.510 for robotics.
Houston copies on the big loop.
Canadarm2 is now in motion again to move the pressurized mating adapter number 3 into its new location on the Tranquility node.
Houston Station on the big loop for robotics. We're at 8 centimeters. We're showing only RTLs 3 and 4, and we think that a positive pitch is, we think a negative pitch is what we need. We're missing 1 and 2.
Houston, concur, negative pitch.
Okay, here comes a negative pitch.
The pressurized mating adapter number 3 has made initial contact with the mechanism on Tranquility, but only half of the 4 indications have been received that the element is in place and ready to be latched in place.
Hey, Houston, we've got just RTL number 2 missing now, so we'll give you negative pitch and positive yaw.
Concur on negative pitch, positive yaw.
And Houston Station on the big loop, we're going to give our go to the CBM operator that maneuver to RTL is complete.
Houston, copy.
The pressurized mating adapter number 3 is in place and ready for station crew members Jeff Williams and Suichi Noguchi to pick up with the procedure to secure it in place using 4 latches first and then securing the 16 bolts in place in a 2-stage fashion. This is a view inside the Tranquility node looking down at the hatchway into the cupola, where astronauts Kay Hyer and Terry Virts have been mating the power and data connections into the cupola. Astronaut Steve Robinson also in view working with them. Astronauts Nicholas Patrick and Bob Bankin are done with their activities for the day until they reconvene with the rest of the crew members to review the procedures for the mission's 3rd spacewalk. That is scheduled to start just after 3 a.m. Central Time. And then Bankin and Patrick will spend their night inside the station's Quest airlock to prepare for their spacewalk Tuesday evening. Astronauts Kay Hyer and Terry Virts are working inside the new Tranquility node. This is the hatchway leading into the cupola that they're making the connections for power and data for that new observation deck. Future robotic arm operations will be able to be conducted from the cupola once the spare robotics workstation inside the Destiny Lab is relocated into the new element. That is scheduled to occur on Flight Day 11. Outfitting of the new cupola will continue over the next day also while the mission spacewalk is ongoing, including installing an audio terminal unit so that crew members can use the station's communication system while inside the cupola, as well as power ports for equipment. And the spacewalkers will be removing the thermal covers on the outside of the element, and crew members inside will be checking out the shutters on the windows. This is a view on the outside of the International Space Station and Space Shuttle Endeavour as the 2 vehicles orbit together 217 statute miles above the Earth over the South Pacific Ocean. They are passing through an orbital sunset. This is Mission Control Houston. The Expedition 22 and STS-130 Endeavour crews have joined together inside the Unity node on board the International Space Station for lunch. Unity was the first U.S.-built element of the International Space Station launched, and assembled to the Zarya module, the first element to launch for the space station. Unity was launched by the Space Shuttle Endeavour in December of 1998. It is a little bit shorter than the European-built Node 2 and Node 3, the Harmony and Tranquility nodes. This is now a view on the outside of the complex provided by a video camera on Endeavour, looking at the new Tranquility node. Tranquility is attached to the port side of Unity. On the other side of Unity is the station's Quest airlock. The Unity node also serves as a passageway between the Russian segment of the station and the U.S. operating segment, which includes the Destiny laboratory module and the European and Japanese laboratories.
This is breakfast, but today we filmed some human interest story shots for you.
Pilot Jerry Vert sitting down some video the crew has recorded over the course of their day in space.
And you should be getting audio with this. This is Mexican scrambled eggs here.
And Terry, we're getting good video and audio.
I'll try not to talk over it too much.
Something to do. They're good.
Good morning. It's hard to shave in space. Everything tends to float away.
Here's neck shaving.
It feels good to be clean shaven again.
То есть проверку нам нужно, естественно, для двух блоков, как ты делал первый раз. Первый раз файл, который ты прислал, было два файла. Один с окончанием А, другой с окончанием Б. Естественно, ты их делал первый раз правильно, и так и надо в дальнейшем делать.
It's a popular choice for breakfast this morning. So Jeff comes over quite often for meals, for breakfast for us. It's the technique of eating your food through the bag, that way it doesn't make as much of a mess. And here are Nick and Bob doing the robotic ops today. They got to move a module called PMA-3, which is a connecting module, and they moved it from a temporary storage location back to the left end or the port end of Node 3. And that is now where Cupola was when we launched. So it's been a little bit of a shell game moving modules around to make sure they all fit. Nick was the main operator and Bob was helping him out.
Diaper service?
That was a nice view of the cupola. Now that we have the whole, we had all the covering and everything open, so we really had our first views of the cupola today, which is really nice. And that right there is the port in and O3, which is now where PMA3 is back.
And if you give us an SSC, also you can do a hot.
So what you hear there is the sound of that thing repressurizing. We were letting air from the station go into that module, and that humming and hissing and stuff was air going in there. So you can see Kay down there doing work in the cupola. I'm getting some tools. Kay and I were both getting the cupola wired up today. And so there's just a lot of things going on. There was a lot of ARED activity, which is that exercise machine right above the cupola. So it's been a very busy place. You'll notice the Air Force Academy banner there on the side.
Flight day highlights. Get ready for a crew lunch.
And this was really nice. Jeff put together a crew lunch for us, so the whole crew was down there in Node 1 having lunch together.
There's Bob.
So everybody has utensils?
I do.
They're on
TJ?
All right. Hello.
There you go, Jeff. One more.
All right.
And there's one more in there.
Okay, well, I'll hydrate these. Huh? I just brought some in there.
She was part of the opening ceremonies for the
right. Yeah, that's what Suichi saw there.
They have some sushi food, you know. Just, I want to cut this and wrap it with the soy wrapper and make it kind of space
like
sushi.
A roll.
Yeah, it's already, the salmon. This is great. It's not raw, it's already cooked.
Yeah, that's good.
What is that sushi?
It's a space sushi.
Space sushi.
With salmon.
Space cooked sushi.
Yeah, made one. Made one already.
Then we got Casey Kasem in space. Number 5.
It was good because we had Russian food and Japanese foods. Suichi just had space sushi for us, and it was a really good lunch, and we brought down some American food too.
And that's a noodle. Yeah, you can share.
That's
Stay
good.
ready.
Oh, yeah.
Ramen.
Ah. Hojin Harosho. Myasa. Sabashi.
Oh no, this is the marmalade.
Marmalade. I wish you're gonna wish it was marmalade.
Yeah.
That's when you have to rescue the marmalade.
I wrote the second
That's
one.
the version with sugar and electrolytes in it. Marmalade.
It's the Eddie note.
No, you know the story behind marmalade?
Marmalade is, what is that, a drink?
Toxic shot.
Oh, no, hey, try it.
Drink it
Oh,
first.
no. It's fruit preserved.
What is it?
That's okay. It's good.
Oh, that is marmalade.
My mother made it. No, it's homemade.
Your mother made it?
Okay.
Homemade. Homemade? It's the same thing, yeah. My mother made it.
Really?
Man, really? We can't get homemade stuff set up here.
In fact, I tried to get homemade stuff.
This is a real highlight today, getting a chance to spend some time with our crewmates. Kay has her Mardi Gras banner up there. And she had some moon pies, which are not the best food to have in space.
All right, Suichi Noguchi-san, Japanese ski
Here's
team.
some Olympics we did tonight. Here's Suichi with his Japanese ski team skis on.
All the way.
Nice job, Suichi.
You see those skis. There's more slalom skis. Here he's doing a slalom.
Slalom and downhill on the same one. Putting down. All right.
Here's me doing the luge.
3, 2, 1, start. Yay! Speed of 100 miles per hour all the way. All right, good job.
All right.
All right.
She goes in.
Okay, demonstrating figure skating triple Lindy's here.
Okay.
Real stable at that.
Okay, ready?
Here.
Spin. Oh,
Very
that's
good.
Nice.
Oh,
Very
man.
nice. Very nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
Physics professors around the world will love that for angular momentum lessons.
2, 1.
Cut.
All right, switching. Nice job.
Go. Spinning.
Come down.
Okay. There you go. Whoa. Not that easy. Okay, watch over here. 3, 2, 1, starting.
Yeah, that's all right. We can still.
Very
We
nice.
can still do it, yeah.
Okay, we're stop now. Filming?
Yeah.
And we reverted to summer Olympics here for diving.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, spread your arms now. We can slow down. Yay!
All right, your head's gonna hit that blue thing on this rotation. There you go.
And here is our crew getting ready for the spacewalk tomorrow. Every day before spacewalk, we have a briefing where they talk about how they're going to go out the door, how they're going to conduct the spacewalk and do their different tasks. And that was it.